What's going on, true believers? It's your man Believes. Today we're going to talk about signals in the marketplace and how you can use them to make yourself a little bit of money. Also, yesterday Bitcoin finally hit that all-time high before it started a little bit of a correction. Ethereum started its run up. The altcoin market started to sizzle for just a little while. FTX got $426 million in an investment. And guess what happened? Their price went up 10% in an hour. If you watch the signals, you make money. If you watch signals, you make money. If you watch signals, you make money. This is not financial advice, but I am always right.
I'm married to the music like more to be on bricks. Even my lady call herself a side chick. I'm popping up like over red and vodka on the flame conscious.
All right, guys, CoinGecko has us trading at $2.745 trillion, and that is a new record. Yesterday, I expressed concern over the 24-hour volume, and I said maybe it's a good thing because it looks like that money is coming into the market, and guess what? That is exactly how it played out because $169 billion worth of volume later, we are at 2.745, up 4% on the day, which means that the money was just coming into the market. And as you can see, it resulted in Bitcoin still trading above its all-time high of 6 months ago. And we're trading this morning at 65,088, followed by Ethereum trading at 4211. Ethereum, by the way, just yesterday was trading around 3,800, 3,900. That movement was quick, it was sharp, and it started to look real good. Now we've had a pullback of 3% just in the last hour. Binance has been hovering kind of stable at 490. Cardano finally made a move of 1.9% in the last 7 days. Guys, Cardano at this point is just tired, I think. One of the things that Cardano brings a lot, it brings point of stake, it brings a new ecosystem, it brings a lot of enthusiasm, and it brings a lot of early adopters and investors. But guess what? Those guys aren't doing anything. If you go back and you look, and when I say that, they're going to get offended because it's Cardano, people. That's what they do. But here's the thing. If I wanted to today go do some trading on the 100, 200, 300, 400 new smart contracts on Cardano, where do I go? You have to come to me for that information because nobody knows. That's where we are with Cardano. Sunday swap, not up yet. The other swaps, Cardano swap, not yet. So, we have no ecosystem in Cardano. And until there's an ecosystem in Cardano, there's not going to be another spur because there's just nothing there, even though there's a bunch of there. Does that make sense? Sell signal. Solana trading at 186.35. That's up 16% in the last 24 hours. Why? Because there's stuff to do on Solana. Solana, I think, is pretty much taking over the NFT market at this point, and we are now seeing them ranked number 6. They're up 25.6% over the course of the last 7 days. Even though there's a slight pullback right here, that's just an accumulation for the next leg up and a little bit of market correction because you're going to see that. But guess what? It's not going to be very much longer before Cardano becomes the, well, right now it's third. It's going to end up being fourth and then probably fifth. And the reason that it's probably going to be fifth is because if you look at it, either XRP or DOT are going to pass it up in very short order. Now, why is XRP not moving? I don't know. Sentiment around XRP is not going to change, and we're not going to see that parabolic liftoff that we keep wanting and everybody's looking for in XRP. We're not going to see it until that such time as the SEC settlement is completed. But when it starts trading again on Coinbase, that's when you're going to start to see mass adoption, and you're going to see a lot of people getting into it. Now, we're going to skip along. Avalanche, again, moving up the charts. Litecoin, moving up the charts. Terra, slowly but surely moving up the charts. Matic is up 25%, moving up the charts. All of these blockchains, VeChain 14%, moving up the chart big. Now, We're going to take a quick look, just out of curiosity, at Phantom. 235. It's still hovering right there. It's down 3% on the day. But it's Halloween, bro. It's going to look really good really soon. But here we go. Again, this is the FTX token. It is up 9% on the day, 1.1%. I said 10% earlier. It's actually 9%, but it all happened just in the last little while. And 22% on the week when they announced that they were looking for the investors. So there is a lot of movement going on. And even though you're seeing a lot of red right here, guys, this market is just setting itself up for an explosion. And remember, there's a lot more money in this market this time than there was last time. So we are setting it up for an explosion that you rarely get to see in crypto. That blow off top is coming. We are 3 or 4 months away, maybe even 2 months away from it. Bitcoin reached its all-time high. I don't think we've had that blow off top, but when we do, very shortly after that, you're going to see the big Ethereum run. Then you're going to start to see the big Cardano up 5 cents, I guess. I don't know what Cardano's going to do at this point. Solana will probably go up another 200% just because this market is about to go crazy and people are going to make a lot of money, and it would be awesome if you were part of it. Now let's talk about buy signals. Moving on. Okay, boomers, how can you look at a chart and how can you tell whether or not there's an opportunity for you to make some money? Well, let's look at, and we're going to do this today with Matic because I want to give you guys an idea. Some of you are going to be like, man, that's wrong. Some of you are going to be like, man, that's right. Some of you are going to be like, Win Moon. I don't like you people. But, so we're going to look right here at what it looks like when you're looking at candles for a buy signal. There's two things that you're looking for when you see something that's going to be a buy signal for you. So, first of all, you're going to want to look at some upward chart action and positive sentiment. You're going to make sure from the news that you're not seeing anything. I would recommend that you get into the Telegram of whatever it is. Make sure that there's nothing catastrophic that's happening. You should inform yourself before you make any kind of moves. But when you see a constant trend of upward motion on something, then it would be safe to say that this is probably a bullish chart because you continue to see upward motion. Now, the further out I get, the less bullish it might look, or the more bullish it might look. See, there's this big up right here, and then that caused what is what you would call an accumulation period. And then you got your test right here, and then you've got, guess what? Now on Matic, you've got a lot of upward motion that you're starting to see. Now, if I look at this chart, let's go back and let's look at this chart all the way back here, and you will see it did the same thing, and you can almost pin this. It's even got the same flags here, and it accumulates, it's down a little bit, it's up a little bit, probably going to go down a little bit, and then here we go. It's going to start to get sent, and then you're going to see this price action movement from this one was $1.25, $1.23, all the way up to $1.59. Just like that, 20% increase. So what are you looking for in order to see that happen? Well, if you look right here, you see what's going on this chart, and you see a lot of sell action. Now, playing the top and playing the bottom, that hurts because you will get wrecked, especially if you are impatient and you are an emotional investor. But what are buy signals? First of all, look at how many green candles you're starting to see. Now, you'll start to notice, if you pay a little bit of attention, you will start to see patterns emerge in what it is that you're doing. For example, you're going to see a consolidation, and that consolidation looks like, and these are, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this like a savage. I'm looking at hour charts right now. So let's look at what's going on by the hour. You're looking at last 24 hours. Green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green, 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 and you keep going down. All you're seeing is a bunch of green candles. Now, what that means is that you've got a bullish sentiment. Also, if you start to put your sticks on it and you look at this channel, you've got a lot of upward motion going. Now, when you get right here, this is your sell-off. Now, What does a bull chart look like? Well, it looks like this. When you see a green candle and you've got this big green candle right here, and then you see that it took 3 hours for this chart to get back down to this level, then you're looking at what's called a bull sentiment, because it's taking 3 hours of profit selling in order to spike that price back down to that bottom of this candle for that buy sentiment again. And then what happens? Then you start to see a little movement, then you see some bigger movement. Now you see the people who didn't sell right here a couple hours later because people are sleeping, doing whatever. Then you see your little cascade down a little bit. That's a correction. Then you start to see the green, then the green, then the green, then the green. Now we're taking profits again. And if you look up here, this chart popped all the way to $1.62, and then the cascade of sells happened. Why? Well, the cascade of sells happens when we were at $1.58. So it looks like every 4 cents or so, maybe, that's when people are starting to take profits. And why is that? Well, it's probably just a good number for profit on them. There's levels of support that you will see and resistance, and that resistance looks to be right at that level. You see this resistance, it was the same thing back then. So what you're doing is you're looking for sentiments like this. You want to see a lot of green, but you want to see a lot of movement to the upside. You also, it doesn't hurt for you to see one of these big blow off candles, because then you know that there's a lot of buy sentiment. Now, when you get to that level, there's bots, there's everything. They're looking to sell. If you look at this chart right here, and you see these big wicks on the top of your candles or on the bottom of your candles, then what this means right here, this is another great signal, is you're looking at a green chart all the way to here, and then you're seeing what happened. That was a massive dump and a massive sell-off for that period of time. So we're sitting here at, what do we call it, $1.53 price action, and then all of a sudden everybody sells. There's this big cascade right down to $1.48, and that's probably $1.48 by the time, $1.54. So it was 154, 158, and 162, and that seems to be our big sell points. And you're looking at the chart, and guys, I'm working this out because I have not looked at Matic before, but I'm just giving you an idea of what I'm seeing here. So then you take this all the way down here. This is where they've stopped selling. Now, what this candle means is that there was a lot of sell activity, and when you see the red candle, then it means that in that hour there was a price decline. And that price ended at 152. I'm sorry, that price ended at 153.10. So then you go into the next hour and you see that there was another cascade of sell-off here, dropping it down to 151, but the candle ended green because it went up just a little bit. That's why it's such a small green candle. Then there was a little bit of sell-off again, and then that's when the bull run started, and you went from a low of 151 all the way up to 157, almost touching 158, and then you moved into that next hour, and that's where you saw that blow off top at 158. And then what did that do? Triggered bots, it triggered people looking to take their profit, and that caused that sell down. Then we got down to that sell down where everybody tested it all the way back down to 152. Then we saw the same thing, but the candles diminished a little bit, and then all of a sudden, now we're moving back up, and then we're moving back up, and then you get your little sell off at 158. Again, these were the people that weren't available for that first little sell down. Then here we go. The chart is moving, 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 and then you got your blow off top again at 162. So what you're probably going to see on Matic is basically the same kind of chart action that you've been seeing on this right now. You're going to see these moments right here. Now you're going to see a couple of green candles, probably move it back up here because you're testing that market. You're testing 162, and you're going to see if you can break that resistance. But it's just that easy if that's what you're doing and that's the way you're looking for it. But that's not the only way to look at it. So let's just say that if I am looking at this chart, then I've got a tremendous buy sentiment, especially because this thing that I'm seeing right here looks just like what I'm seeing right here. And remember, people tend to do the same things over and over again. Now, when you look at this right here and you look at this cascade of sell right here, you're looking at the same thing over here, and you're looking at a similar, you see a little bit more red in it, but you're looking at a similar chart that ends up on an uptrend right here. And here's your uptrend right here. And what you're going to see again, there's your little cascade of sell-off. Maybe you're going to see that right here. You might see that we're right here instead. But then you're going to start to see it move up again as it tests 162. which this was testing, and then you're going to see this little nice run up here, and then here we go. We're going to have that next blow off top with 20%. Only this time, we're going to be closer to altcoin season. We might even be in altcoin season, and what you're going to see is an explosion. That's how this works, and that's how it plays out. Now, do your own research. Again, if information comes out that changes the dynamics of what's happening, then you could see a massive sell down, and this thing could cascade back down, and it could test the waters at $1.22. There's good sentiment with Matic, but, I mean, anything is possible. But this is a risk, and that's what it's telling you right now. Your level of support is real good around $1.50. It looks like it's accumulating right in that channel right there. So the longer it does that, the better off it's going to be for this blow off right here to happen again. So let's look at it another way. Now we're looking at this is Dex Tools, by the way. If you're not familiar with it, you should be familiar with it if you're watching me, because you would be watching it every day. And if you watched yesterday, you didn't see anything, but except my face. What I use over here is the 7/14 28-day candles. This is what you call a Fibonacci method, and what we're looking for here is very, very simple. We're looking at this green line right here to get an idea of buy sentiment. And you're going to see in just a few moments, because there's another thing, another tool that you can use that allows you to do the same thing, but it makes it a little bit easier for you because you don't have to zoom in and look at these candles. And by the way, when you're using Fibonacci, one of the things that you'll want to do is you'll want to go to like the 1 or the 3 minute candles so that you can see in a closer proximity, because you don't want to just do the buy every hour unless you're like me, unless you don't like moving stuff around. If you don't like moving stuff around, then go with your hour. But again, you do it at your own risk, and not for nothing, you could still do it for day if you wanted to, and it's going to tell you about the same thing. There was a giant cascade up to 229 on the 15th before it settled back down. And you can see that as you pull out. But let's stay with where we are right now. So we're looking at this green line right here, and we're going to zoom a little bit. If you see here, it is above the red line and the yellow line, which means that you are getting a buy signal. Now, you're seeing this cascade down right here of red because the Fibonacci method says that there's not enough red here yet to say stop buying. Now, this green is telling you to buy. It's telling you to buy. It's telling you it's close. That, like, this is telling you right now that here you've got a lot of red coming. So that means you've met resistance. But you see, this is a huge buy sentiment, a huge buy sentiment, a huge buy sentiment. Now, here is where it crossed right here. If you look down at this chart right here, it saw a nice green spike, or a nice green candle, and then it spiked, and then the next time you saw it, it started to go up. So now it says, you know what? We're seeing a good strong buy sentiment. So the green line goes over what I've got as a yellow line, and you can make it whatever color you want. That's the 14-day moving average. But what you see is it starts to move up, and you're seeing that it's creating some distance. When it starts to create the distance, this is your buy sentiment. When this line crosses over, then here you go. And this goes from where we were at 146, and this takes you all the way up to where does the buy signal end? At 146 it started. It got real close at 155, which means you had a nice lift off of this, but then it stayed up because the green still took over, and it kept going, and it got you all the way up to 162, 163. So when you're looking at this chart, that's what you're seeing. Now, you go back here, and you look, when did the green line go under? And that's where we started. But this right here, this is a sell signal, because this line has gone underneath. And what ended up happening at this point? So here we are. We had a short buy sentiment that came in right about here. And it was telling you, all right, go ahead and buy. Now, it started 150. So if you got in about 150, if you got in when you saw it maybe at the end here at 149, then you got up to 151. That's actually, at that point, an okay increase. That's just a small percentage, but it is an increase. Then you saw that it cascaded over here for just a little while before you got this massive sell-off. Now, your Fibonacci was still telling you at this point to keep buying, to keep buying, to keep buying. Now, that led to this right here. There was a cascade of sells. So in this situation, Was it wrong? Well, here was the blow off at 152. So if you started over here at your low at 149, then you got a 3 cent gain to 152. And that's not a huge percent. You want to see a nice big percentage increase. But when you're playing these small little margins, then those are the moments that you're going to have. And those are the situations where you're going to see it. But here you are, all the way down. You made a little profit. Now, it told you right there, sell. Whatever it is that you have, sell. So you sell off, you go down here, and then it's going to tell you now the market's moving back in the right direction. It's going to be a buy signal. Now you're on the buy signal. Now you're on the buy signal. So if you followed that, you made a little bit on this because this was like one of those false movements. That's one of those movements where you're not doing very well on it. So your first sell came right in here. Then it came back over here as a buy. Then it tested and it failed is really what happened there. You're not making too much off of that. With your fees and everything, it's not worth doing unless you have a whole lot of a bag in there. And then every one of these moves is money if you make it. Then you go down. This is your sell. There's your buy. And then boom, your buy from 146 is taking you up here. So now you're starting to make some pretty good money. That is a 10% increase in that period of time. So a $50,000 bag, you just made $5,000. It was just that easy just by following this chart. Now, the last one that I want to go over is right here. If you set up an account with TradingView, then you have something called Cipher B. And Cipher B is a volume chart that tests your sticks as well. And it tells you in green down here when to buy. And then in red here, it tells you when to sell. Now, these are not 100% correct. They are nothing that you do in this market is 100% correct, but these are very close, and it is important that you watch these things. Now, what I'm watching when I do TradingView, what I'm watching is I'm watching a 3-minute chart because I want to see. Now, and remember, by the way, you're still responsible for your fees, so you're looking for a lift or something like that. So, but if you look here, then it told you right around here that you had a buy sentiment at 154. And then it moved up to 156. You got a couple of cents off of it. Then it cascaded down a little bit, and it told you right here, with just maybe a small increase, that it's time to sell back. So make what you want of it. If you got in here, 157, then it told you to get up here and sell at 159. Then it told you to get back in. If you're looking down here, it's telling you get back in. So sometimes you're going to miss some of those reds, and especially in a bull market, because you know that things are going to go up. So when you're watching these are trade options. Your red is your buy signal. Now, in this situation, if you used your red signal somewhere good, then you use that sell signal again, or I'm sorry, you used your buy signal at a low number, and then you used your one of your red signals up here, then you made some good money. Now, point of fact is, if you don't have a lot of money and you are doing this on the cheap, so to speak, if you're doing this on the cheap, then let's go back to the hour chart and let's start to look, and you'll see here, like the numbers become a lot bigger, and you see if you got in, here's your sell number over here, and then there's your cascade down, and then here is your buy signal. And when you hit your buy signal, hopefully you get in at the bottom of this piece right here or this piece right here. Then it tells you to do this. Do you sell up? You got to make a decision each time, by the way. If you feel good about the chart, and if you've been looking at this chart and you see these things are going up, then you look at it, you watch it. Sometimes you're going to look at that red, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm going to let this money ride because I don't want to pay a bunch of fees. And then boom, this is at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. And then by 4 a.m., you got another buy signal because everything just went sideways. So you're still here on your buy signal when you got in, and then this buy signal happens, and then all of a sudden, there's your big cascade up. And then it tells you to sell right here. But let's say you decide you don't want to sell again because this is a signal. This is just an advisory for you. And let's say you don't, and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. Then you got a blow off top here at $1.60 something. Now it's telling you to sell because all of this red right here means a bunch of people sold. They took their profit at $1.62 and they started that cascade of rain all the way down. You look over here on your 2-hour chart, you see the same thing is happening, but Fibonacci is telling you you still have a good buy sentiment. It's not as strong as it was before, but it's still there. So this, all three of these methods of just staring at the chart and looking to see, do you have a lot of green? Is it going up? Is it moving in the right direction? Are these sell downs being eaten up? See this big red candle here? If that's being eaten up and it's just a small wick by the end, then that means that your buy sentiment is still strong. The buy sentiment right here is not as strong because this wick is pretty big compared to this one, compared to this one, compared to this one. So if I'm guessing, then I would say that Matic at this time lost a little bit of steam and the Bears won. So take that for what you will. This is not financial advice. You know I'm always right. There's 3 different very solid methods that you can use, that you can look at, that you can stare at, and you can make informed decisions on them. Now, not every one of the tokens that you have is going to be covered by these. For example, Floki is not part of Bitrue, but you can go look at Floki on any other network where it's trading, and you can watch that chart too, and you can use that one not just through Bitrue, but through anywhere. And you can apply the same thing. If you're into Floki, you can apply that thing all the way down the line. Fibonacci tells me right now on Floki that it's in a sell sentiment right here. So that was at 73. Now Floki is down to 67. That's 600 points. And if you're in for 20 grand or something like that, that's a lot of money that you could have taken a temporary dip here, and then bam, you're probably going to start seeing a buy sentiment because Floki doesn't stay down for very long. And that's one of the things that you also know. Also, it had a big leg up right here. When it had a big leg up the last time before that, same thing kind of happens. You get your little cascades. People buy, people sell. But it always seems to go up. So all you're doing is you're looking for these dips and you're looking for that buy sentiment. This is the first actual down candle that you've seen in, what is this, 4 days? So if you put your stick on this chart and you start to look, it broke. That's called breaking resistance. That's the first time it broke resistance in quite a while. So, and if I zoom this out just a little bit and I start to look up here, here is, you have their tops over here. So this is breaking the resistance. But let's look at it another way, because that's what we always do, is we go down here and we start to look at, do we have like a little channel? If we look at this blow off top that was happening right here, then we start to see the makings of a flag pattern. Are we going to see it for the long term? I don't know. We broke resistance right here. A lot of sell down. That's the thing that you get. But overall, it's a Floki chart. You know what you're getting with Floki. You know you're getting constant moons, constant ups. So when you see the signal, this is a great buy opportunity, and that's what you should do. And if you go over here and you look, you're going to see the same thing. If you go over here and look, you're going to see the same thing. So make your decisions based on these, and you might just be able to have yourself some good success. That's your tutorial for the day. Moving on. All right, guys, full disclosure. I will be a developer in some fashion on a new token that is replacing this old token here. There will be information revealed in the Telegram very shortly about what is going on, what it is that we're doing, and any opportunities that you may have to be involved in that project. There will also be how to buy. I'm going to do a lot of tutorial videos because we are moving to the BSC chains, and we're going to be in that BNB, the Binance Smart Chain Network. So you're going to be buying through your swap with BNB instead of Ethereum. And guys, and let me just say this right now, the GUI is 73. So that means that you're probably going to spend $60 on a transaction. Over on BNB, it's going to be $3 for like every transaction. The amount of fees that you do not have to pay are insane by comparison. So that's what's happening. When I have more information, I will reveal it. Moving on. All right, HokkFi. guys, I keep coming into your chat, I keep talking to you, and I keep telling you that I got my channels, and guess what? You haven't broken out of my channel except to the upside in all of this. And if you stuck with me, and if you bothered to look at what I was telling you at the beginning of this, and you went back and you watched the how-to video on how to do some trading, then you will know when you start looking at this that this is a real good bull sentiment. And when you see these sticks that are pointing upwards in this direction and you are not breaking your resistance down here at the bottom, then you know that you are just moments away from one of these. Again, we're on 1 hour chart, so this is about a 2-day, I think. But here we go, 2 more days from now. You guys are going to be breaking you're going to be breaking a zero again. So, like, the opportunity exists. You guys are in a great place right now. You're not breaking your support to the downside. Now, if you look at this candle right here, this is the one place where there was actual concern. If you look at this right here, you see this downside on the candle. And guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you didn't watch the tutorial, go back to the tutorial and you'll know what I'm talking about. The little wick on the bottom of this green candle that you see, that is right here, means that you guys had a massive sell-off, taking you down momentarily to 38, it looks like. And then guess what? There's so much buy sentiment. This big green candle right here, there's so much buy sentiment that it just went crazy and went all the way back up. So by the time it moved to the next chart, you were already back up. That was called a flash dump. That was somebody taking their profit. So you didn't actually break that. You didn't break that in the hour, because you got back to within the variable. So everything right now looks like it's going to break to the upside. Now, the market, of course, is going to do you a lot of favors by doing that. And the price of Ethereum is certainly going to help as well. Gwei is moving up again, so trading is going to end up being slow because that's just the way it is. But your whales are going to be looking for opportunity. They're looking for places to plant their seeds early so that they can get that blow off top later. And this looks like one of the great places to do it. So, guys, just be aware that you haven't broken that channel yet, and everything's looking good. So, moving on. All right, Sanshu trading at 65.32. That is about a 9.5% increase over the day. You guys have not broke the channel. If you look here on the channel, and guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about right here, please stop. Take yourself just a minute and go back to my tutorial just a little while ago, especially those of you who are not experienced in what you're looking for on these charts. Go back, please, and look at my tutorial on how to recognize signals. Please do yourself a favor and please check that out. Now, what you see happening here is we're going to spread this out just a little bit more so that we get a good idea. Like, let's just make this is going to be your new channel right now. You are on a tremendous upside. Now, if I get these numbers just right here and I start to scroll out just a little bit, this is your channel right now. This is what's happening, and this is your price action. And guess what? You are on the upside of the channel, because what you're always looking to do is you're looking to split this down the middle to see where it is that you're going to go. And your buy sentiment, your bullish chart or your bearish chart, is going to be based on which side of this that you're going to be on. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have the ups. It means that what you don't want to do is you don't want to see anything here that cascades down and breaks your new support level on a bullish chart of, let's call it 5,000. Depending on time, by the way. This is depending on time. So if you see this massive flash right here, that is a bad sign. But you know what? This is a great market. So this market is going to start helping you in every way that it can, because Ethereum's going to blow. Everything's going to work to the good side for just right now. But here's what you're looking at. You are looking right now to blow off that upside, and that is sitting so far right now that it is off my chart. So if you guys get up here, then what you're going to be doing is you'll be dropping a zero. So that's what we're looking at when we look at your chart right now. You see that there's a tremendous upside. Now, if you're an investor and you're looking at a good buy-in spot, your investors who are looking for a good buy-in spot, they're looking for something under this line. They're looking for that moment where you're down just a little bit, where this was a great buy opportunity right here. This was an amazing buy opportunity right here. Same thing all the way up and down. this was a great sell opportunity. I know nobody wants to ever sell any Sanshu, but you got to take your profits at some point, and you see that. That's exactly what happened on this cascade of sell-off right here. Now you've got a minor accumulation happening before you get back up there, and once it goes parabolic, you're probably going to bust through and just absolutely lose that zero. So you're getting there. The number of holders continues to increase. 2 days from now, there is going to be a conference call in the Telegram. It's going to be a community discussion. The video chat will start October 23rd at 11 a.m. Central Time. Don't miss it. Moving on. All right, Floki Vikings, you guys are trading at 68.75. That's a little down signal right now, but guess what? In just a couple of hours at noon today, there is a marketing update, and you know what that means. That means that we are a couple hours away, so the market is going to start moving up, 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 up in anticipation of whatever it is that we are going to update. I assume that we're taking over another city. I could assume that. Now, listen, if you guys are not expert and you feel like you're an expert, and if you're in Floki, I assume that you're an expert, but that also means that you've probably sold right here because you're an expert. Now, if you're not, and if you feel like you could use some information that nobody has ever given you before, then at the beginning of this, there is a chapter here devoted to how to recognize buy and sell signals on charts. Do yourself a favor and go look. Remember, I don't say I'm always right for no reason. Actually, I do, but you know what I'm talking about. But there are several different methods, and you will be able to see those several different methods so that you can get an idea of when to buy and when to sell in crypto. And what I'm doing here right now is I'm trying to make sure that you guys are informed so that you can make the best decision. You can't sit in chat and just listen to Dex Hawk forever and learn everything you need to know. You have to take some time, and you have to look at your charts. You have to learn what it is that's going on so that you can make good guesses for yourself. And that's all we're doing, is making guesses. They're educated guesses, but they're still guesses. So please go back, look at how to crypto. It is going to be important for you, just so you have just an idea of what it is that you should be looking for on these charts. Now, what I'm going to tell you right now is you're going to see buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what you always see on Floki when there's a marketing update. So for the next 3.5 hours, you got buy sentiment, and then you're going to start to see a little bit of cascade of sell-off. But here's the thing. When you start to see that, nobody cares. Nobody gives a care in the world. Every time you see what you're seeing right here, you see it again right here. You see it again right here. It's followed by another giant spike. So guess what? You're about to see another giant spike. And all I'm going to say tomorrow and the day after, it'll probably take 2 days, but all I'm going to say is this. Called it. Guys, go check out that tutorial. When I say tutorial, it doesn't mean I'm an educator. It just means that I have some ideas that I'd like to share with you. Not financial advice, but always right. Moving on. All right, Saitama Wolfpack trading at 31.82, up 7, almost 8% to the previous day. The up just continues to up and up and up. They're going to be on Fox News very shortly. Go into the Telegram so that you can get a link and you'll be able to see Saitama will be on Fox News very, very shortly. Don't miss it. It would be great if you tuned in. And guys, here's what I want to say real quick. You ever notice that I have these lines on here? That is because I guess on crypto. And if you want to know what it is that I look at in order to get buy and sell sentiments, first of all, you should know I'm deep into Saitama. I'm deep into Floki. If you look at the charts, you understand why. If you can just feel it, then you know why. But do you really know why? And if you don't, go look at How to Crypto that I put up today. It's in another chapter. You can look at it across the bottom over here. It'll take you just a few minutes to go through, but I give you 3 different methods that you can use in order for you to make these good buy sentiments. And I tell you what, the people that you see when these numbers go up, when you see these big moons right here, and then you see that cascade of red that happens right after that, they're doing the same thing that I'm doing, and that's how they're making all of this money off of this chart. They're not just hodling. We want as many people hodling as we can, but that's what they do to make their money, and I'm sharing it with you. So go check it out if you have the time. If you don't, tune into Fox News because you're going to be seeing the Vegas promo. You're going to be seeing them on Fox News. I believe it's the Houston, Fox Houston, if that's right. Anyway, you got to go into Telegram, check it out, and be informed. And let's move on. Wolfpack, you are crushing it. All right, Kishu trading at 33.89. That is down, what is this, 12%? Down 12% on the day, which, you know what? This is me saying it's no big deal. Now, guys, if you are a Kishu investor and you are looking at this today, I am teaching people how to crypto. There is a chapter devoted to it at the beginning of this, and you should take the time to go look at it. Now, even if you are not an investor, even if you are not somebody who likes to swing trade or day trade or do anything, it's important that you recognize the buy signals and understand what's happening here. It's important for you to understand why this green candle right here goes all the way up here, but it's just a little sliver. If you don't understand that, go over there. I'm going to explain it to you. When you see this red one down here and you see that it also has a big wick on it, and then you see this red down here, then what does that mean? Well, no, if you don't know, then go get informed. If you see this green line right here, which is your buy signal and your sell signal, then you will know why. If you look at TradingView, if you look at BitTrue, if you look at any other place where there's trading going on, then you will be able to see and you will know if you go look at that. Now, on to the actual Kishu. For all artists out there, there's only 1 day remaining for submitting your NFT for the first batch of the Kishu crate. DM Mo if you want to be part of this, because time is now running out and getting very short. So I still believe that you guys are the one that's going to blow it off, that you're going to cause the explosion in this market. This accumulation right here is just that. This is a big accumulation, just like this was over here for this next big leg up. And when that happens, that was a parabolic increase of, what is it? You guys went 3x in just a little while. Well, guess what? You're about to go 3x again. That's what your charts are going to say right now. When you start to put those channels together, and you're just going to see a blow off to the upside. It's coming, but remember, the market is the market, and everybody's deep into Bitcoin. Everybody's deep into Ethereum. Altcoin season, you're seeing a sprinkle of it right now. It's coming, but it's not there yet. But if you want to know and you want to be informed, go look at the How to Crypto chart chapter that I laid out just a little while ago. Stay informed, know what you're talking about, because I know what I'm talking about. Wasn't financial advice. Moving on. All right, StarLink troopers, I told you, I keep telling you every single day, and guess what happened? You blew up to 1,756 overnight from 1,100. So if you were doing it, you got a 50% increase over that period of time. Now, it all settled back down at 1,455, meaning you're up 22% on the day. And if you want to know what all of these things mean on this chart, by the way, if you want to know why I have this green line, if you want to know what this little wick on top of your candle does, because you assume you know, but you don't really know, and you're just wondering, if you want to know that, there's a How to Crypto chapter that I put in this video today so that you can take a few moments and just kind of look and be informed for yourself of exactly what it is that you need to know, and the buy sentiment and the sell sentiment that you're looking at, and also so that you know and will be able to see why 1,600 was this magic number that caused this little cascade of sell-off. Even though it got up to about 1,750, it was really it's what caused this cascade right here to bring you down to about where you are right now. These are people taking profit. You're still on the way up, but it's a little bit of market correction. But if you're nervous about those things, and if you're looking for those things as a signal, go to How to Crypto that I put on this video today to try to help and inform everybody. And even if you're not going to use it and not going to practice it, then at least you will have some details and some information so that you can know in your mind, because crypto is stressful. You will know what to expect, and you will not just flip out because you're looking at your chart thinking, oh my God, what just happened? And that is a good thing. So check it out. When I go into the chart, it looks like you guys are working on OKEX. There's an official announcement calling all meme coin believers. Vote to get your favorite listed on OKEX, and guess what? StarLink is in the mix, along with Elon, Kuma, Samo, and Leash. I don't even know what some of these are, so go vote for StarLink. Do your share. and let's get on OKEX. Moving on. Okay, boss. 1775. You guys are down 7% on the day. It's not a bad change, but you did have a really good spike and got back up over 2,000. Now, why did that cascade of sell-off happen? Why is there that big red candle sitting right there after all this green happened? If you're following zero waiting, you already know the answer to this. But if you don't, for any reason, follow zero waiting, then go to the beginning of my video. There is a chapter devoted to how to crypto, and it's the buy and sell signals. And if you're not using it for day trading or swing trading, then it is important that you at least know for your own mental well-being, because sometimes you see this and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? It would be better if you knew and you were informed on what it is and what the buy signals are and what the sell signals are and where you're getting the information. I'm pretty sure that zero waiting prefers to use Cypher B on TradingView. If you're using that, then you can see that. But remember, the green line that I'm using right here is a Fibonacci on the 7/14/28 charts, so that you can see right here where they are, and then you can keep track of that. But there's also the ability for you to stare and to see what is going on with your chart, and do you have a bullish sentiment, do you have a bullish pattern, and you can literally look at it and take any point of time and kind of create your own chart and see where it is that you're trading. Like this one has a very long one right here that says that over the course of about 5 days, you guys are going to go up a couple hundred points. So if I project this out based on that, another 5 days to the 25th, you guys are going to be at 18. You're going to have a nice little level, because right now it's settling at 16 to 17. So that means you're going to settle at 18 to 19, or maybe closer to 18. But you can look at these things and you can tell, and to know how to do it will allow you the mental capacity to relax when you see these sell-offs and not be one of the people that lose, because you only lose when you sell. And if you've lost anything, then you're feeling like you probably need to hold on. But you know what? If you can have some information and peace of mind, then just go check it out. It would help you out tremendously if you care. And you should, because crypto is very stressful. But the boss token. Boss tracker's coming. The listing at CoinTiger is coming. So things are moving in the positive. You guys are starting to see some action. The holders are increasing, and we're getting to that point in the season where things are about to ramp up and it's about to get a little bit crazy, and that's going to be great to see. But know what it is that's going on. So take your time, look at that how-to, and moving on. All right, guys, I don't want to get off the rant here, but I'm going to sidetrack for just a second and say that somebody sent me a message while I'm filming today and said, hey, bro, I bet your matrix rain is going to be yellow today. And I said, well, what would make you think that? And he said, green, red, purple, yellow, blue. On Monday, you use green. On Tuesday, you use red. He got the code. So, yeah, every day I use a different color, and I try to code it by the week, and I've been trying to do that for a few weeks now. And somebody recognized it and sent me a message out of nowhere, and I knew it, but I didn't know somebody else was paying attention. So you got me. But anyway, for every one of the tokens today, we're all doing good. We're all accumulating. We're all in that moment where things are about to get parabolic, and you're going to see this just massive liftoff. And everybody who's into a token right now is involved. Like, you're going to see every single token have its moment in the sun with just a great parabolic sort of increase, because the market is saturated. There's money everywhere. There's a little bit of a correction happening right now, but then we're going to get that blow off top. Now, the important thing is this. This is the moment where you make the money, so you need to know what it is that you are talking about, or you need to know what it is that everybody else is talking about. So today in this video, I included a how to crypto, and I'm not a crypto expert. I'm just a crypto kind of good. So if you go back and you look at the information that I gave you, it gives you an idea of buy and sell sentiment, and it gives you an idea of the things that you're looking for. And there's no expert movement, because you are you're tracking trends and you're tracking what you see visually in a market, and you're tracking news. For example, this morning, FTX made an announcement of a $426 million cash infusion, which led to an immediate 10% increase. If you got that alert right away, pumped your money in there, then you saw a nice gain. And then once you get your 10% or whatever percent you're comfortable with, then you pull it back out. And it was very simple. It was very simple. If you popped it up on TradingView, if you popped it up on anywhere, you could have looked at it and you could have seen what was going on. So it's important for you to be informed. And what I did in the video, which if you didn't watch it, go watch it. It's How to Crypto. And what I tell you is how to look at DEX tools and how to look at something like Bitrue or any other exchange, how to look at the candles either on a minute or hourly chart, whatever chart you decide. But if you're going to do day trading, you obviously want to use like minute and 2 minute and 3 minute candles if you can. And if you're doing swing trading, then you're probably looking at the hourly or the 4-hour chart or the daily chart before you make your moves, knowing full well that a lot of crypto just kind of goes up if you hold on long enough. So depending on what it is that you're doing, this will give you at least an idea that there are 3 decent methods that when you combine them, they probably give you a pretty good signal of what's going on in your markets. One of them is Fibonacci, another one is Cypher B, and another one is just you looking to see if that chart is moving, to see how many green candles you see, to see how big or bad the red candles are. You can literally eyeball a chart and make a reasonable assumption about what it's doing. Now, in our minds, we also create things like flag patterns, and we create the head and shoulders and the reverse head and shoulders, and we create channels. We take our sticks and we start to move them, and we start to see where the price action is. And then when we start to see the pattern emerge, then we know that there's a pattern. And once we've got that pattern, we can make a determination based on that. If you're watching me all the way through, then you're going to know that Hokk is one of those incredibly predictable charts right now. They haven't broken support. I've been right on them for a long time right now on exactly where they're going. And it's been a good ride and a very profitable ride because you can see it. Like, you know exactly what's going on this chart, because there are a lot of good people and a lot of good investors that are being involved in Hokk right now, especially with the relaunch coming. So it's been an easy thing to read, and it's made my job, at least in that community, real simple. Everything has been as advertised. Other charts, not so much. Floki, you can look at the ups, you can look at the downs, you can understand exactly what's going on with the Floki chart. You can look at the Saitama chart and you can understand everything that's going on with the Saitama chart. You can look at these charts and you can kind of get an idea of where they are and what they're trending, and then when they're going up. But full disclosure, Saitama, I told you, for anybody who was listening for a period of time, that Saitama was going to accumulate. They were accumulating right around 1,300, and then that they were going to have a blow up to 2,000. Then somebody told me 3,000, and I said, no, you're wrong. And then it went from 1,300 all the way up to 2,000, and then it settled at 2,000, and I did a video and said, there you go, I'm right. By the next day, it was at 3,000. So I got that one not right, but still right. Still got the 2. But the point to it all is you can take these charts, you can look at them, but you have to be informed and you have to learn. And if I can teach you something so that you can protect your investment, then that's what I'm doing right now to try to help you out. In the end, by the way, full disclosure to everybody, I am now a developer on a new token, and that will be announced shortly. It will be covered on this channel early. It will be covered. I've tried to, as best I may, cover every token fairly and honestly with you guys on everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to do the same thing with that. I won't pull it into anybody else's time slot or any events that are going on. There might be some advertising or something like that that goes on at the bottom. But for anybody that's wanting to do that, then contact me about advertising on some part of the site or on the daily update. That's on you. But that's my time. Guys, inform yourself, know what it is you're talking about, do your own research, but learn how to do that research. And I taught you today, at least I hope I did. That's my time. Let's have a good day and let's prosper.